biggest help. My uncle's here helping us this weekend. He usually comes to most of our races. I want to thank the Sandwich Spot, Rodan Builders, Pace Chassis, Hamlin. When I was young, I used to ride dune buggies a lot. I would ride dirt bikes and quads. And then I started quarter midgets when I was 15 and did that for 2 years. We had pretty good success in quarter midgets. In 2017 started, we finally bumped up to a micro. And we've been running that for a year, and this is our last race out of the whole year. I've won a few heat races, but no mains yet. I'm kind of competitive. Our dilemma was either going to late models or coming to micro sprints. In the late models, you need a whole team and a lot of people to help you. And this, we can kind of just me and my dad come out here and do that. Being a girl at the racetrack, people kind of underestimate you a lot. But when you're out on the track, they just treat you like you're one of the guys. At school, when I tell people that I race, they kind of don't believe me, or they just look at me different. But coming out here, I feel like I fit in. They just think it's some kind of like go-kart, but it's actually a lot different than that. They should understand that it's actually very intense, and it's probably just as competitive as going to Spa or something like that. And that it is really hard to get to the top. It takes a lot of practice, time, and effort. Because it's not just going to the racetrack, it's preparing to go to the racetrack, then being at the racetrack, and then after that, cleaning the car, fixing everything that happened at the races. This is my first Tulsa Shootout. I didn't realize how big of a deal it was until we got here. Everyone that I've talked to, it's like a dream of theirs, they've always wanted to go to it. And being here, I kind of realized that it's a lot more intense than the regular races. In heat race 25, I started on the outside pole. The first start, I did really good and I got to first, and then they called a restart, and so I got put back to the outside pole. And then we restarted again, tried to go for first again, but it didn't work out, so I just took the low line. My competition right next to me, and he was running the high line. I was doing pretty good on the low line, so I didn't think that I needed to go to the top, and I didn't really want to risk getting put to the back if I went up to the top. We ended up in second, and I was really happy with the outcome. I think most people were surprised because I am a girl in a men's dominated sport, and they underestimate me a lot. I was supposed to drop in kind of later, but I kind of went earlier just because I was trying to make sure that the people behind me didn't pass me. Saw a few people behind me. They kind of nudged me a little. Well, in the Outlaw, the takeoff is a lot faster, and this one kind of takes a lot to get going. I feel like in the Outlaw, it feels a little bit faster than the stock. The Tuttle family for letting us borrow the car. In the beginning, I tried to go for the high line, but it didn't work out because my car wasn't set up for the high line, and it was way slicker in the high. Once I went low, I gained a position. That's how I got to the 5th spot. Everyone was running everywhere on the track. There wasn't like one line. People were running high and low. I think the competition's more equal in the stock class than the Outlaw, because the Outlaw, you can have any motor you want. In the stock, you have to have a stock. Going into turn 1, the car is kind of split, and so I made some moves and I went through the middle, and that's when I made my way up to 4th. I kind of had a battle going with the guy next to me, and then finally, with about 3 laps to go, he kind of made a mistake, so I took the spot and I went low, and I stayed low the whole time. I made it to the qualifiers in both non-wing classes. And I am the 6th qualifier to go out tomorrow. both classes. Hooked up, and so when I tried the high line, the car rotated too much and all the weight was on the right rear. Then I tried the low line and that wasn't working either. The car just wasn't set up right. Slick in the middle and the bottom, and so I ran the top line and the car was working really well. To go restart for a lineup, Jarrett Martin, he went to try to cut me in line, but I knew I was in front of him, so I took the spot. And then as the restart went, he tried to slide job me, but I made it past him. Next we have the stock wing A class, and then after that we have the outlaw wing. So we have 2 B mains left. The track was really slick. There was a top line and a low line, but I chose to run the low line. Coming out of the turns, my tires were spinning too much, so I couldn't get any forward bite, and that caused me to get passed by a few people. And then in the end, I passed a few people, so I ended in 9th. So we are done in the A class. Next is the outlaw wing, my final chance of making it to the A main. Supposed to start in the 5th position, but someone in front of me in the lineup scratched, so I got to move up to the 3rd position. When I went out on the track, the middle was really slick and the high line is up on the wall, so I decided to run the low line. As I came into the turns, I kind of cut off the turn, and as I was coming out, I drifted up to the top and then cut off the turn again. And since we finished 2nd, I get to go to the last chance qualifier. made it difficult to drive. The track wasn't what we thought. It was pretty hooked up. To race with racers from all over the country that have been doing this for a long time, it's pretty difficult when you've only been doing it for 1 year. Overall, my experience was positive, and I will definitely come back next year. Being here, I've definitely gained a lot of experience just in these past 4 or 5 days. 2018, we'll be racing in California at Delta Speedway, Dixon Speedway, Lemoore Raceway, and Visalia or Plaza Park Speedway.
This presentation by Dirt Track State of Mind was brought to you by Liquid Nitro Energy Drinks, Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, Hyper Racing, Radical RaceGear, and Smiley's Racing Products.